They make $133,000 a year. Combined, both working full-time, top 25% of American households. They should be building wealth. They should feel financially secure. Instead, they are living paycheck to paycheck. One unexpected car repair last month went straight onto a credit card. They are exhausted. They barely see each other. And the most painful part? They did everything right. They got the degrees. They got the careers. They got married. Bought the house in the good school district. So why does a household making over 6 figures feel completely broke? If you have ever looked at your combined income and thought, we make too much money to feel this stressed, this video is going to change how you see everything. The phenomenon you are experiencing has a name. It is called the two-income trap. The term was coined by Elizabeth Warren. Yes, the senator back in 2003, when she was a Harvard bankruptcy law professor. She and her daughter studied over 2,000 families who had filed for bankruptcy. And what they found was genuinely shocking. Having two incomes did not make families more financially secure. It made them more vulnerable. Families with two working parents were actually more likely to file for bankruptcy than single-income families. Let that land. Working twice as hard, bringing home 2 paychecks, doing everything the modern economy told you to do. And you end up more financially fragile, not less. That is not a personal failure. That is a systemic trap. To understand the trap, you need to understand the history. In 1970, only 43% of women were in the workforce. The typical middle-class family had one income. And here is what most people do not realize, that one income was enough. Not barely enough, actually enough. A single-income family in 1970 could afford a median-priced home spending, just 25% of their income on housing. They could afford health care, a car, food, savings, and a vacation. And critically, they had a backup plan. If the breadwinner lost their job, the stay-at-home parent could enter the workforce. That second potential income was an insurance policy, a safety net waiting to be used. Today, over 60% of married couples with children, both parents work. We have permanently activated the emergency backup plan and called it progress. Here is where the math gets brutal. Yes, household incomes have risen since 1970, but look at what happened to costs. Median home prices adjusted for inflation doubled. Healthcare spending per household up over 600%. Childcare, which barely existed as a major expense in the single-income era because someone was home, now costs American families an average of $11,000 per year per child. In high-cost cities, $20,000 to $30,000 per child annually. College education costs up over 200% since 1980, the fixed costs of being a middle class. American family exploded, and every single dollar of that second income got absorbed. Completely. The two-income family does not have double the financial security of the 1970 family. They have less because their fixed costs expanded to consume both incomes entirely. Let me show you exactly where the second income goes. Because this is where people's jaws drop. Say one partner makes $70,000 and the other makes $50,000. That $50,000 second income feels like a lot. Watch what happens to it. First, taxes. Because the second income stacks on top of the first, it gets taxed at higher marginal rates. After federal tax, state tax, and payroll taxes, and that $50,000 becomes approximately $32,000 take home. Now add childcare. Average daycare cost $15,000 per year per child. 2 kids, $30,000 gone. Your $50,000 income is now worth $2,000, but we are not done. 2 working parents means 2 commutes. Second car, gas, maintenance, parking, insurance, call it $8,000 to $10,000 per year. Your $50,000 is now negative. Before the second person has even worked a full day, their entire income is already spent, just on the costs of going to work. Here is the most infuriating part of the two-income trap, and it is something Elizabeth Warren called the bidding war effect. In the single-income era, families competed for housing based on one income. When two-income families became the norm, families suddenly had twice the purchasing power chasing the same limited houses. What happened to prices? They got bid up dramatically. If everyone has 2 incomes, 2 incomes become the baseline requirement. Suddenly you need two incomes just to afford what one income used to buy. The same arms race happened with school districts. Good schools exist in expensive neighborhoods. Parents use both incomes to outbid each other for houses in good school districts. The price of admission to decent public schools became a $500,000 mortgage. And once you are locked into that mortgage, the trap has closed. You cannot go back to one income, ever. This is where the trap becomes truly dangerous. The single-income family in 1970 had something. The two-income family today does not have financial flexibility. If the breadwinner lost their job and the stay-at-home parent could find work, not ideal, but it was a backup. The two-income family has already played that card. Both incomes are fully committed to fixed monthly costs. There is no backup plan. There is no reserve income to activate. A 2019 Federal Reserve study found that 40% of American adults could not cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. 40%. Many of those people are dual-income households making solid money on paper. They are not broke because they do not earn enough. They are broke because their expenses expanded to consume every single dollar, leaving them one car repair away from crisis. So what do you actually do about this? The mindset shift that changes everything is this: treat the second income as temporary even if it is not. Here is what most families do wrong. They treat both incomes as permanent and guaranteed, and they build their fixed costs accordingly. They buy the house that two incomes can afford. They take on the car payments that two incomes can support, and then they are locked in forever. The alternative is what I call the one-income foundation. You structure your non-negotiable monthly expenses, mortgage, car, insurance, utilities, so they can be covered by one income alone. The second income then becomes entirely discretionary, savings, investments, debt payoff. The critical difference is this: you could survive without the second income. Life would be tighter, but you would not lose the house. You would not go bankrupt. You would have the margin that most modern families have permanently destroyed. Here is what the one-income foundation looks like in practice. Your household makes $130,000. Combined, $75,000 and $55,000. Instead of taking on a mortgage that requires $100,000 or more to service, you take on a mortgage comfortably covered by $60,000. One car instead of two leased cars. A neighborhood with good, not elite, schools. You live on one income and invest the second. That $55,000 second income, invested consistently at 10% annual return, over 20 years becomes $3.5 million. You are not just building wealth. You are buying something most dual-income families have completely lost: flexibility. The ability to have one partner step back. The ability to handle a health crisis. The ability to make decisions based on what is best for your family, not what is required to keep the lights on. Let me leave you with the most important reframe of this entire video. The two-income trap is not really about income. It is about flexibility. It is about margin. It is about options. Our grandparents with one income had something we traded away: the ability to absorb a financial shock, to change direction, to have one partner focus on family without the entire financial structure collapsing. We traded that flexibility for bigger houses and the appearance of prosperity. But appearances are not wealth. Two incomes are not better than one. If both of them are already spent before they arrive, the families who thrive financially are not the ones who earn the most. They are the ones who preserved their flexibility, who refused to let expenses expand to consume their income, who kept their backup plan in reserve. Now you know the trap. The question is, what are you going to do about it? If this video changed how you see your finances, subscribe to The Money Mind for more psychology of money every week. Next video, we are exposing the biggest financial lie your bank tells you every single month and how it is quietly draining your wealth.